Tomorrow arrives with electricity in its bones, but it does not crack the sky, it softens it. You feel it in the atmosphere before you see it in the heavens. A hush inside your chest, a pause in your breath, the way your thoughts lean inward as if expecting a message to land. And one does, but not through words, through sensation, through synchronicity, through a frequency that says, "Be still. Listen. This is not noise. This is transmission." It is June 26th, and the cosmos breathes in rhythm with your nervous system. Mercury in Cancer, the sacred scribe of emotion, tiptoes through memory. Uranus in Taurus, the wild awakener, sends sparks through earthbound rhythms. They meet now in Sextile, not as opposers, but as collaborators, pulling the divine into the intimate, merging intuition with innovation, whispering lightning into your bloodstream. You are not meant to think clearly today. You are meant to feel precisely. There is something ancient moving beneath the language, something soft but impossible to ignore. This is the final movement of a 3-day symphony. First, Jupiter stood in the heart of the sun. Then the moon returned to herself in Cancer's holy waters. And now, Mercury reaches across time to touch Uranus, and the current runs through you. This isn't astrology. This is circuitry. A trinity of light codes has been descending. And today is the final note. Not the end. But the moment it lands, the sky doesn't speak in commands, it murmurs in metaphors. And today, every moment becomes one. A song lyric that stops your heart. A conversation you didn't expect. A whisper you hear just before waking. You are not imagining things. You are receiving them. Mercury opens your throat. Uranus opens your crown. And in between them, your heart becomes the bridge. This is the unexpected calm before a new inner storm. The kind that clears, not destroys. The kind that changes how you see everything, without changing anything at all. You might feel goosebumps without cold. You might catch a glimpse of your future in someone's eyes. You might know something before it happens and feel no need to prove it. This is not a test, it's a tuning. Mercury doesn't shout here, he murmurs in feeling. And Uranus doesn't break what's working, he awakens what's been waiting. You may feel deeply nostalgic today, for a time you never lived, or a version of yourself that feels both lost and near. You may crave silence not as escape, but as ceremony. Because this is the final day of the portal, and portals don't always look like doors. Sometimes they look like tears. Like truth unspoken, like a journal left open in a beam of morning light. You don't need to chase it. You only need to be tuned. This day is not asking for output. It's asking for attunement. Let the sky be your mirror. Let the electricity be your compass. Let the silence be your invitation. Tomorrow is a frequency, but it isn't coming. It's here. And in this stillness, something begins to stir. And in this stillness, something begins to stir. It doesn't roar. It buzzes. Soft and strange. Like static under the skin. Like the faint hum of a distant frequency finally reaching your field. You feel it first in your breath. Uneven. Then in your chest. Tight and trembling, but not in fear. It is as though your body is picking up a message faster than your mind can translate it. This is the inner disruption. Not a breaking, but a breaking open. Mercury whispers, and your thoughts scatter like light on water. Uranus sends tremors through your old wiring, and suddenly, you are not the same. You don't remember changing, but everything feels different. You forget what you were doing. You remember a scent from childhood. You hear a line of poetry in your own voice that you've never written. The veil is thin, not just around you, but within you. It might look like insomnia. You lay in the dark, not tired, but tuned. 1,000 thoughts orbiting, but underneath them, one truth hums steady. Or perhaps your body aches, not from illness, but from expansion. Your shoulders buzz with invisible wings. Your heart flutters with anticipation that has no source. You feel more. You sense more. You think in shapes instead of sentences. This is not confusion, this is calibration. Your nervous system is updating. Your mind is syncing with higher channels. You are downloading light through your spine. There is a sacred glitch in the matrix. Text messages don't send. Emails bounce. But a stranger speaks your exact fear out loud on the street, and you realize the universe isn't broken, it's speaking. Mercury and Uranus disrupt the usual paths so the deeper ones can emerge. Today, information arrives in feelings. Clarity comes not through logic, but through intuition. You suddenly know what someone was about to say. You write a sentence that surprises even you. You sense someone thinking of you across oceans. You are not hallucinating. You are hearing beyond the noise. You are remembering how to receive. And you are tender. So tender. The moon still floats through Cancer. Every vibration hits like a bell inside your chest. You crave comfort but not escape. You crave solitude but not isolation. You may cry and not know why. You may laugh and feel the tears right behind it. This is not mood swing. It is soul surfacing. You are speaking a new dialect of self, and your body is your translator. So listen to the shiver. Trust the pulse. Honor the craving for silence. This day is not about communication. It is about communion. Mercury, the messenger, is not here to speak. He is here to deliver, and you are the receiver, the oracle, the open channel. You may feel like you don't know where you are, but you are not lost. You are between the thought and the insight, between the breath and the message. Let the space stretch. Let the discomfort unfold. Let the truth arrive without explanation. This is the middle of the portal. This is the heartbeat of the transformation. And just as you surrender to it fully, the symbols begin to rise. And just as you surrender to it fully, the symbols begin to rise. They do not knock. They dissolve the door. They arrive in fragments, in flashes, in moments so ordinary they shimmer. You glance at the clock and it's 11:11. You think of someone and they call. You walk past a child singing a song that answers a question you didn't know you were asking. This is not coincidence. This is communion. The Mercury-Uranus sextile doesn't just bring messages. It reveals the patterns hidden in plain sight. It turns the mundane into metaphor. It turns your day into divination. Your dreams speak now in images, not stories. A white snake coiling around a rose. An empty room with a single candle burning. A child at the edge of an ocean, looking back at you. Don't analyze them. Feel them. Because your inner oracle is speaking, and the symbols are her alphabet. Mercury, moving through the waters of Cancer, dips into emotional memory. He stirs the well. He brings you the voice of the inner child, the one who still believes in messages from trees, who still hears the stars. And Uranus, shaking up Taurus's soil, grounds that magic into matter. He makes the invisible tangible. He roots the idea into sensation. This isn't about epiphanies. It's about embodiment. This isn't about knowing. It's about recognizing. The moment you realize the fear you've been holding isn't yours. The moment you say yes without knowing why. The moment the answer comes in the wind and not the thought. Your spirit remembers more than your mind can hold. And today, it remembers aloud. There is a tenderness in the veil now. It does not separate. It connects. You are not just in a day. You are in a myth, a ritual, a remembering. The phone call that brings resolution. The bird that lands beside you. The sentence you overhear that unravels a decade of doubt. This is the language of the divine. Not linear, lyrical. Mercury weaves the thread. Uranus strikes the spark. You are the vessel where they meet. Let every part of your day be sacred. Let every interaction hold meaning. Let yourself live as though the universe is speaking directly to you, because it is. You may feel like you're remembering a dream, or mourning a future you haven't lived, or suddenly understanding something you never studied. That is the soul's timeline collapsing. the intuitive mind reordering reality. You are stepping into alignment with the version of you who already knows, already sees, already trusts. Let the visions come. Let the memories arrive unannounced. Let the symbols bloom like constellations. You are not here to understand it all. You are here to feel the truth when it lands. A feather, a lyric, a scent that floods your whole body with recognition. Let these be your oracles. Let the world become your altar. Because the sacred is not somewhere else. It is here. It is now. And just as your soul begins to listen without fear, the message begins to rise. And just as your soul begins to listen without fear, the message begins to rise. It does not arrive with instruction. It arrives with intimacy. A soft, low hum in the space where your thinking used to live. A sensation that says, I already know, even if I can't yet speak it. The message is not something you find. It is something that finds you. Not in the noise, but in the pause between your breath and your remembering. It lands where the symbols bloomed, in your journal, unfinished, in the moment your spine tingled, in the word you almost said but swallowed like a secret prayer. This is not a download. It is a homecoming. You are not here to become someone new. You are here to become someone known. Mercury, still bathing in Cancer's waters, asks, what would happen if you trusted your inner voice more than your outer doubt? And Uranus, steadfast in Taurus, echoes, what if the revolution isn't in your doing, but in your being? Together they sing, come back to the place where knowing doesn't need evidence, where wisdom lives in sensation, where truth doesn't knock, it pulses. This is the soul message. You already know, not everything, but enough. Enough to move, enough to speak, enough to begin. And you feel it now, don't you? That quiver of clarity beneath your ribs, that quiet certainty in the middle of your confusion. It doesn't shout, it hums. You are not waiting for the sign. You are the sign. The message lives in the way you exhale, in the way your eyes linger on certain lines, in the way your body leans toward resonance. You don't need more proof. You need more permission. And so this day becomes the threshold, not of revelation, but of reclamation. You reclaim your voice, not the polished one, but the real one. You reclaim your path, not the perfect one, but the one that feels like breath. You reclaim your presence, not to perform, but to exist. You are allowed to know without explaining. You are allowed to feel without fixing. You are allowed to speak without shrinking. Let that be the message. Let that be the movement. You have not been disconnected. You have been distracted. Now you return. You return to the temple of your own truth. You return to the altar of your inner voice. You return to the original contract you made before forgetting. To be whole, to be sacred, to be you. Not in fragments, but in full. And yes, it might scare others. Yes, it might confuse even you. But the soul doesn't fear disruption. It fears disconnection. And you, beloved, are reconnecting. With every breath that honors your knowing. With every pause that lets the message deepen. With every choice that says, I no longer betray myself to be understood. This is the new blueprint. This is the quiet rebellion. You don't need the map. You are the map. And just as you begin to walk it, not in haste, but in holy rhythm, the ritual begins to unfold. And just as you begin to walk it, not in haste, but in holy rhythm, the ritual begins to unfold. It doesn't call for perfection. It calls for presence. You don't need the right tools. You need the right trust. This portal, the final breath of a cosmic alignment that has spun you open and drawn you inward, doesn't ask for spectacle. It asks for sincerity. This is the day to pause, to breathe, to make meaning not through movement, but through stillness. If all you do is light a single candle and place your hand over your heart, that is enough. If all you do is whisper your name and say, "I remember who I am," that is enough. Because this ritual is not about outcome, it's about alignment. Mercury and Uranus have peeled back the noise. Now you listen. Now you receive. The message is already here. The signal has already landed. Now your only task is to honor it. Create a container, a few minutes, a few breaths, a few pages in your journal where your soul can speak freely, without structure or judgment. Write without editing. Speak without scripting. Move without choreography. This is not a time to explain. It's a time to embody. Let your body become the altar. Let your presence become the spell. Sit in the quiet and notice what stirs. A tear, perhaps. A laugh that catches you by surprise. A memory so vivid it paints the room in color. That is the ritual. Feeling is ceremony. You might be guided to cleanse, to bathe, not just to wash, but to remember your skin as sacred. To let the water carry away what cannot cross the threshold with you. You might hum softly, not as performance, but as reclamation. A lullaby to the child within, a melody your ancestors still sing. Or you might prepare a cup of tea with reverence, brewing it as if you're pouring warmth back into your spirit, sipping it as if every swallow is a vow to stay awake. The ritual is not what you do, it's how you do it. Slow, present, true. Say your name aloud. Say your desire aloud. Say your yes aloud. Not to the world, to yourself. You are the one who has been waiting to hear it. If you've been meaning to send a message, send it. If you've been holding back a truth, speak it. If you've been circling a dream, step toward it. You are not behind. You are right on time. This portal does not close with a bang. It closes with a choice. To trust the message, to honor the shift, to walk forward as if your intuition was never wrong. Let this be your closure. Let this be your opening. Light one candle, burn one word, speak one truth, then breathe. Feel the weight of who you were fall off your shoulders. Feel the electricity of who you are rise to meet your skin. The sky has rearranged you, but the soul has brought you home. And now, you are the ritual. You are the receiver. You are the message. The portal does not end. It lives in you now. So close your eyes, whisper your own name, and walk forward lit from within. The transmission is complete. The timeline is chosen. The story is yours to live. Let it begin.